I got into surfing because I was just this raving little tomboy that skateboarded in our street, and I swam all the time at the freshwater pool, did laps and stuff, and we used to go down to the beach after the races, and I'd grab a foamy and get out there and ride it. So I think that's how I got into surfing. I've got no brothers at all, so no boys that surfed in the family. My sisters didn't surf, my dad doesn't even swim. So yeah, I think it was just a little bit of destiny that got me into surfing. My first surf on a fiberglass board was actually at Freshwater Beach in the middle up there, but my local was Nth Steyne and even South Steyne right here. I surfed especially when it was nor'east, and down here when the other times were in the morning. I became a member of the Mallee Pacific Board Riders when I was a bit older, so a lot of stuff happened here at Nth Steyne. My first board, I used to say that it was, because I got a board when I was 10 for my birthday. It was a fiberglass board made by my uncle, who was a friend of the family. But I reckon I was already surfing on mats and cool lights and everything else that floated, you know. So I probably started when I was like 5, because the family law said that I was swim racing at 2, and then I had kids, and I looked at my 2-year-olds and went, my family's tripping. I wasn't racing at 2, but it just means I was in the water and confident really young, and so I just took to it. So I grew up surfing in the 70s, so started in 75. Women's pro surfing kind of started in 77. Here on the northern beaches, I think we had about 6 women that surfed the whole way up the coast. There might have been more that was sort of laying a bit low, but that's about as many as I knew. And my first comp was Mallee Pacific Board Riders, and I think there's 5 girls in that, and that was probably everyone. So there wasn't many girls surfing because we'd come through the time where it was the 60s, where there's heaps of girls surfing, and then the boards sort of got shorter, the attitude in the water got a lot harsher, and then more drugs and just localism and stuff. Yeah, pretty tribal and pretty tough, but I survived just because I loved it. How did I become the poster girl for Crystal Cylinders? Well, that same little tomboy could also look like a girl, so I was a little bit famous in the Manly Daily, and just one of the local advertising agencies saw my look, and I got recruited as to do their ads with Greg Black from Narrabeen. So yeah, that was really important for my surfing career, because I got enough money out of that advertising to take me to Hawaii and to get launched into pro surfing. So without that, just synchronistic thing, I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking about my surfing career. So yeah, that first comp I went into was Mallee Pacific Board Riders. It was the middle of winter. It's not a very nice day. There's a bit of swell around. I remember sitting in the car for a really long time waiting for my heat with my mum, and I went up to enter the heat, and Bobby Mills, he goes, "Oh, sorry mate, the juniors is finished." It's the classic, because I just looked like a boy, and so I kind of went back to the car, and Mum had to sort that out, and I got in the heat. I had no idea of the rules or anything. I just went out there, and I think I caught lots of waves and had a really serious face on or something, and anyway, I came away as a winner. Still don't know how. And I got a new Sloppy Joe with a big logo on the back, and yeah, I was pretty proud of myself with that one. So I was on the pro tour for, I started when I was like 15. I started on the pro tour, did some events, and I did my last events. So it was 15 in 1980, and I did my last events in 1999, I guess, when I had my daughter. I went on to compete in a couple more events after that. So technically, I think I did 20 years of events, on and off, and a fair bit of semi-retired surfing, but I re-qualified 3 times, which I was really proud of. So I qualified the first time. I had to re-qualify once again when I retired, and then when the tour started, I think it was 3 times, maybe I'm exaggerating. I re-qualified twice, okay? So I qualified the first time to make the top 8 when I was a kid, and then when I retired to just surf the Australian events, I had to re-qualify to get into the World Tour when it became an all or nothing type thing with the elite level. So I re-qualified, and I finished number 3 in the world on my last year on tour when I became pregnant, I think. So I was pretty stoked with that. I won the world title in 1990. Who were my favourite contemporaries? When I first started, I was a bit cocky, and I didn't respect a lot of my elders, and then they started kicking my ass, like the girls from the generation before me, like Margot Oberg and Lynn Boyer. So I went to Hawaii, and I saw them surf like 15-foot sunset and pull into lock-in barrels, and I suddenly had some respect. And Sherry Gross was another incredible surfer from Hawaii back in those days. And then my peers like Jodie Cooper, Lisa Anderson, there's a long list of girls that I really admired their surfing. And now going into the girls that are on tour now, I can't go past Steph Gilmore. I just love her style, and it just makes me feel like I'm surfing the wave when I watch her, and that's an amazing thing, you know. It's all about the flow. So nowadays I live down the south coast at Mollymook, south coast New South Wales, and I run a surf school, and I've got 2 teenage kids and a husband that has about 100 hot rod cars that he makes and builds, and we do surf trips with the Perfect Wave, and so yeah, living the dream. I love my life down there, and I love surfing on all different sorts of equipment, and just trying to keep fit and keep social and work for the community, all that sort of stuff, and yeah, that's life at the moment.